looked last night when I went to bed. I haven't looked this morning. We had like 62 people registered.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So,
How many people showed up last week?
we ended up with 22, I believe.
That's really good.
Yep.
Sweet.
And that was on a registration of like 38. So
I was going to ask, so is the participation rate higher virtually than it is in person? It's usually about 40%, right? In person.
Yeah. It's been, so this is only the third time. So the first time we did it, we had 66 registrants and ended up with, I think, 24 or 25 participants.
That's pretty good.
So about in that 40% range, a little bit less. But last time it was a higher percentage. And I don't know, for some reason, I kind of expect this one to be a pretty high turnout. I know a lot of the people I talked to weren't going to show up until 8 o'clock or right around 8 o'clock. But last week, some of the feedback was, I did mention that we were going to need to start it a little bit later because John was going to be speaking.
Yep.
And, but there were a few folks that said, hey, well, let's go ahead and open up early for anybody who wants to hang out. So let's see. So this is just kind of like milling around and eating a croissant at a tag breakfast, only not quite as milly abouty.
I gotcha. I already ate my breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I ate your breakfast.
Thank you.
Let's see. How's it going, Steve?
Going well.
Yeah.
Yes, it's no problem for an early meeting like this when all you have to do is come down 2 flights of stairs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It does make the commute a lot easier, doesn't it?
Right.
I was looking at somebody, Brett Kempler, who joins a lot of these, was pointing out the innovation forum that you're a part of as well the other day. I don't think I've been to any of those. You guys have anything coming up?
We do. We have. We kind of have our first planned event in October. It's not in person, so we're still planning an in-person one, but our next event will be then, and we're looking for a venue. I think we've probably found one for our first in-person. Probably won't be till 2021.
Okay.
We thought we might be able to do our end of year one in November.
Yeah.
But it's just looking like it's people are still cautious.
Yeah.
News coming out is part true, part enough to make you cautious, and so I think we're just going to wait till next year. But yeah, it's I'm on the committee for the October event. I'm definitely on the November event, and we're putting together the venue that we'll have for our first in person in 2021.
Cool. Is this in any way related to or associated with the old Atlanta Enterprise Innovation Forum that Mike Vollmer used to run?
No, this was associated This one's associated with the former Wireless Technology Forum.
Okay, well, I saw Steve Botman was sitting at the head of it, and I knew that he used to run the Wireless Technology Forum. I used to be pretty active in that one back in the day.
Yeah, we renamed ourselves last year, and the idea was to kind of move away from purely telco, which is where they blossomed, right, and move more towards what's happening new. We actually scoured the market and said, okay, what does TAG do? What does Tech Alpharetta do? What do we do that would be different and still interesting to the technology community? Yeah. Really, TAG is focused on overall state economy and larger companies, all the way to small too, but typically focused on larger companies. Then you have Tech Alpharetta, which is a geographically focused group. And then we thought we want to focus on the things that are constantly around the corner. Now, I'll tell you, it's hard to steer the group that way. Yeah. Once you've got a format and topics, even though you've changed your name, it takes it a while to move the whole ship in that direction. So,
absolutely.
And we're getting there.
Cool. That's good. I'll keep an eye on that, and I'll make sure that we get registration and kind of details on your October session in this newsletter that I'm sending out every week as well. Make sure to help promote that.
I'll get that to you. Actually.
Cool. Thanks. Hey, I was just thinking I need to set up a form for people to submit stuff as well. Trying to automate as much of this as possible so they can actually keep up with a weekly newsletter. It's been getting a pretty high open rate, so I want to continue to add value to it and kind of have a good weekly kind of dispatch for everyone.
Excellent.
Douglas, what you been up to, man?
Well, I've just been busy. I'm still under house arrest.
Yeah.
I don't know what people know. I've been, of course, been fighting cancer for the last 2 years.
I did not know that.
But when I saw this, y'all were doing these product coffee things, I thought, well, I still can Zoom. I'm Zooming for everything else. So.
Absolutely. And yeah, you definitely want to stay out of the crowded spot, but I'm glad you could join us for this. I'm actually thinking of expanding the footprint to this and making this. We've got an international mailing list at Product Camp, and I'm thinking of expanding the footprint on this a little bit and making it, not just an Atlanta networking thing, but really a product management industry networking thing, just to add to what's going on. There are lots of the product camps are doing online conferences, and you can get some of the networking in there, but I really like the continuity of relationships and the smaller, shorter form topics. I'm enjoying doing them, so as long as people keep coming, I'm going to keep doing this, I think. As long as we can come up with topics and not have it get boring. So, Alex, what are you going to talk about in a few weeks?
Oh, wow. On the spot. I could come up with some things.
Good. I know you can. Jay, I was excited to see that you had signed up. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm not in Atlanta, but
okay.
I appreciate the invitation, and I'm eager to hear what you guys have to offer today.
Yeah, this is a series literally started about 3 weeks ago in an attempt to find some way that the Product Camp organization could add some value to the community. It's been a pretty quiet year with COVID. And, didn't want to just create another online conference.
Yeah.
So said, let's just take a short form type of a weekly meetup and experiment with it and iterate on it and see what emerges of value.
That's great. Appreciate it.
So welcome.
You
want to introduce yourself to the folks here?
Yeah, sure.
We've spoken.
It sure has. My name is Jay Rasmussen. I am a former product manager with AT&T and offer manager with IBM. I left there, took an early retirement in 2018, bought a franchise to do home care, and unfortunately, COVID claimed us, and so we had to shut it down. And that's what I've been busy with the last couple months, actually. And so I'm looking to get back into product management or operations, and so that's why part of the reason I wanted to join this. But Jason, it's always interesting to talk with you and in this kind of a format and audience. So thanks for the opportunity.
You bet. Glad you could join us. Let's see. I'm just going to keep calling people out, and if you want to just say hi and go on mute, it's okay. I won't be offended. But kind of the point of joining a little bit before the program is to get a little networking in. So I'm just going to grab folks one at a time and say good morning to Rohan. Rohan Crawford, welcome. How are you this morning?
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing?
Doing well. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, Rohan Crawford. I'm actually a certified Scrum Master as well as a certified Scrum Product Owner. So got this, and I see Alex is there. Good morning, Alex. I didn't expect you to be here this morning. So actually, I'm in transition right now. I most recently was a Scrum Master and a Technical Project Manager over at ADP. and just really not actively just exploring some options right now. Would love to stay in the agile space, but as Alex has actually kind of assured me that maybe I should explore product management or product ownership as an option. As again, I am already certified as that. I've worked with product owners over the past few years in the tech space, and really would like to continue and grow in this capacity.
Cool. All right. Well, this should be a good session today then. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know how many of you have seen John speak before, but he's generally a very good speaker. So, and he, when we were talking about sessions that he could bring to the table, this was like one of two that just fell out of his mouth immediately. And clearly, if you've been tracking the feature board that we're using for voting, it definitely was the clear leader after just a few votes came in. And I'm going to share that URL out here again at the beginning of the meeting, but I'll go ahead and put it out there right now just for folks to kind of look at while we're networking here. Let me open up the chat here if I can find it. There we go. So I set up, there's a new company called Feature Upvote. They're based out of Europe. And I have set up a free trial on their little platform here. I just dropped the URL in the chat, but it's just another feature suggestion board, but it's pretty minimalist, and I kind of like that. Let you add your own suggestions for topics that we'll have here at these product coffees in the future, and then vote on them. And we'll include links to it and in all of our mailings, but. We're starting to get a few topics on here. We've got 7 lined up so far, although I think one of them has kind of been semi-withdrawn, although I left it there to see what would happen with it. Still, if everyone would kind of take a look at that over time and think about, if we're going to have a weekly coffee meetup session, we can sit here and talk a little bit, or we can actually learn something and take on some topics that would help us in our careers. So it'd be really nice to have a lot of suggestions from the community in the product camp tradition, and we'll vote on them. And the ones that bubble to the top, I'll get prioritized sooner rather than later. There may be one with one vote that I think, hey, that's a really good idea, and I'll take privilege and say, let's do that anyway. But the more suggestions we have, the more we have to pick from, and I'll get these scheduled out further and further so that you can plan if you want to make sure that you don't miss a specific one. You've got it on your calendar a little bit sooner rather than later. So keep your eye on that, and please do add your suggestions and vote for the things that you see that you like. Let's see here. Here's another Joel. Welcome this morning, Joel J. Want to join us and say hello and introduce yourself?
Hi, this is Joel. I'm from India. I happen to be following John on LinkedIn, and I saw this topic. I thought it'd be interesting, and I just realized that I didn't know what kind of a group there would be here, but it's kind of interesting to see the kind of people that are here so far. So yeah, cool. It's time interacting with product managers from outside of India.
Yep. Absolutely. I know I saw one of the people who signed up is a former colleague of mine from my IBM days. He's in Pune, and I expect to see him join here momentarily as well. So what part, where in India are you, Joel?
I'm from Bangalore.
Okay. Very cool. I've only been there once, but I thought it was a really cool city. So, yeah. John,
yeah, we've been lucky that it's kind of the technology hotspot here in India. So those of us who are fortunate to be here are getting to see a very interesting shift in how quickly tech is being adopted in India, and watching it from the lens of both worlds, right? I mean, like from the Western world and from how Indians in like remote areas are accessing technology as well. So yeah, it's fun times.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know you guys are struggling with some of the same struggles we have right now, and trying to figure out how to get people remote as much as possible, because with the population density, the COVID situation there is not any better than it is here. Well, thank you
Yeah,
for
that's
joining.
true.
Thank you for joining. And John, thank you for sharing it out. How you
You're
doing, man?
welcome. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. I think there's a lot of people here who might not know you. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. John Peltier, long-time member of the Product Camp community here in Atlanta. Been in a number of industries, kind of jack of all trades, I guess. So in the final stages of signing with another organization for my next role, and so I think I beat this topic by a day or so.
That's okay. You can still
But
add
it's okay.
value.
Yep.
Cool. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear. Are official congratulations in order yet, or just get the champagne ready?
Yeah, we're in that stage. Yes.
All right. Cool. I got you.
I'll announce it whenever it's right to do so.
Keep me posted.
Thank you. Well,
That's
Best of
pretty
luck.
cool. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Jessica.
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Good morning. Why don't you, since I got you on camera, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Jessica Landisman Williams. I am a Director of Technical Product Management, and I'm interested and pursue areas of cybersecurity and compliance. And I am between positions right now and interviewing with a couple of companies. And welcome to any connections or ideas that folks have here in the Atlanta area.
Excellent. And that I'll kind of repeat this once we hit 8 o'clock and we have kind of the full complement here. But I set up last week a spreadsheet for us to collaborate on openings, and nothing's been dropped into it yet, and that's okay. I understand why, but I'm still going to try it. I'm not going to give up on it just yet. Let me paste this in here. It is I just created a product management opportunities spreadsheet out here on Google Drive. And the idea is for everyone who participates in these sessions to be able to share information about it. Maybe if you work for a company that has an opening, you can share information about it. You came across an opportunity and you say, you know what, this one's not for me. Or you came across an opportunity, there are multiple openings, and you say, hey, I'd still like to kind of share the information about this one. As we all know, a lot of the best opportunities don't show up on the job boards. I know somebody who knows somebody who has an opening available, and one of the great traditions of Product Camp has been to share these opportunities as we know about them and help other people find them. So please, as you come up with opportunities, as you come across any opportunities that would be valuable for the public at large for our group at large to know about, drop them in this spreadsheet. Everyone who attends these sessions will have access to this spreadsheet. And so you'll be able to kind of always look, and I will then, but more importantly, what I'll do is in that weekly email that I send out, I'll highlight some of these opportunities as well. So if you're a hiring manager, this is a great opportunity for you to put some opportunities on there as well. Once again, it's going to be primarily Atlanta focused, but in this day and age, I'm seeing more and more postings are being listed as these are remote opportunities. I think more and more companies are saying, okay, let's just make the switch and go full remote. It opens up our talent pool, and it really creates a kind of a benefit for employees who want more flexibility. So let's ride this wave and see where it takes us.
Also, I want to give a small plug for the Roswell United Methodist Church's job network.
Yeah.
So twice a month, if you Google Roswell United Methodist Church Job Network, they have seminars. They'll help you with interviewing, with polishing up your resume, with negotiating. Also, more important than anything, with networking, because over 60% of the placements are with, to Jason's point, are with positions that are not advertised.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Roswell's program has been around for decades. It's like one of the oldest programs, one of the most robust programs in town. I remember 15 years ago, I was looking for a job and I was sitting in on some of those sessions back then. And it's a fantastic program. Thank you. And you don't have to be a member of their church. It's open to the public, right? You don't even have to be a Christian, right?
It's open to the public. It's secular. There's no religious component to it. It is purely for helping folks land.
Cool. We're in a crunch time right now.
Jason, I was going to mention something real quick that don't be scared to time slice yourself. Just so happens I work for Rusty as his product guy. Rusty Gordon, who runs the program there at the church, founded it. So I do that for one company. Another company that's based out of Houston, where the CEO is actually in Pensacola. I'm now launching all the product ops for those guys. And, and I also, for a number of nonprofits around town here, I actually define their entire IT output. So, and I can do that all sitting here right from, my mission control right here at my laptop, multiple laptops and televisions and stuff here in my basement. So if you haven't found the thing you're looking for, there's plenty of ways you can time slice yourself. And in many cases, I'm working for stock. In many cases, I'm working for cash, and in some cases, both. So I think COVID opens up your opportunity to be able to do more with the time you have.
That's a great point, Steve. So,
should also mention too, another startup. The CEO is actually in Windward, the neighborhood right behind mine.
Yeah.
Me and I see each other about once every month and a half, even though we've known each other for 20 years and we live almost side by side. We work off of virtual meetings, and we'll occasionally get together for lunch here and there. But I think we're getting more done, not getting in traffic.
Yeah, it's true. Do you find, and I'll throw this out to the floor. John will be joining us in just a couple of minutes, but I'll throw this out on the floor. Do you find that for those of us who are busy, do you find that now that you're not in traffic, that you're actually, not only are you getting more done, but are you busier than you were before COVID kind of put us into social distancing mode and kind of a remote work mode? Or is it about the same?
I think I'm busier, or I feel like I am, because I'm not taking as many breaks, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like, once I sit down, I'm like working, and I'm consistently, it's like working, and then next thing I know, it's 5:30, 6 o'clock, and my husband's walking through the door, and I'm like, oh crap, where'd the day go?
Yeah.
And stuff. So I feel like, even though I'm home and I could easily, get up and do laundry or something like that, it's more because I don't have to go drive and get lunch or anything. I don't have to, and all my meetings are right here, right in front of me on my computer. So I think I'm actually more busy, more productive, but at the same time, I'm, you just don't move as much.
Yeah. How's that affecting you? Do you think it's actually good, or is it having an impact on you? Is it wearing on you?
It's wearing. I think it's wearing on me, and health-wise, it's funny because I'm trying to get back into, like, before all this started, I'd been on a nice, I'd take breaks. We had a nice mile walk at the office where for lunch I'd go take a nice walk around the lake, take a break, clear my mind, kind of thing. And I'm like, now I feel like I'm not doing that. I've got more stress, and I think I'm, into a situation where I need to start concentrating on taking breaks and, taking some time away from the computer during the day.
Yeah.
Jason, I'm way more relaxed.
Yeah.
Than I was before.
You look pretty relaxed, man.
I get up in the morning and take my time. My wife and I get up at the same time. We've been empty nesters for some time. And, we just take our time and I get right to work. Yeah. And it's there's a lot of things I have going on. I can see my calendar. I don't have to worry about stopping to chit chat on things or handle minor crises. Mm-hmm. And I think really it gets in the middle of the day, if all of a sudden I realize, hey, I need to water the lawn, I'll walk up and turn that on. It's not something I think about and think, oh gosh, no, I didn't get that done. It's a hot day. The new lawn's going to suffer. I can just go do it. I just put something in this suggestion site you just mentioned, and you'll laugh.
Right.
We have a big 10-seat dining room. We have a big house. Mm-hmm. And there's a big table up there we don't use that often. And so I'm always doing 1,000-piece crossword or jigsaw puzzles. And so I'll walk upstairs and think I'll do a couple of pieces. You know, it's a really difficult one, and I need a break. So I walk upstairs and we'll do that. Get another, you know, glass of water. Come back down to the basement. So I feel much more relieved. I'm sleeping better than I have in a long time. My cycle's better. I know waking up isn't. I got to get in the shower, get dressed, get on 400, yell at people, you know, call everybody stupid. And I don't have to worry about being in a car accident or anything.
That's very true.
So much more relaxed.
See, I think we got time for one more group introduction. Well, Donna, why don't you introduce yourself to those who don't know you real quick, and then we might have time for one more before we welcome John here. See that John's joined as well.
Good morning. I'm Donna Orban. I work for a company called Brightstar here in Alpharetta. I do my title is Director of Program Design. I do a lot of work with clients in more like a technical product. So upfront, really doing the upfront with the customer, what do they want, and then to work with our internal product team and development team to then solution and get out what we've promised our customers and deliver it.
Excellent. Donna's been around the Product Camp community for as long as I can remember. It's been a while, and it's good to have you here. Yeah, let's see, we've got time for another one here. Let me see. Here's a name I haven't met before. Indigo Watley. Indigo, why don't you say hello? Give you a second to come off of mute.
Put them on the spot a little quickly.
I do. I'm going to do that. It's okay. If you don't answer the call, it's okay. Let's try. Let's see here. I need a randomizer or something. How about Amy Hallman? You want to say hello this morning and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hey, everyone. Good morning.
Hey.
I'm Amy. I first learned about Product Camp actually a few years ago, but I was able to attend in person for the first time last year with Sales Loft, which was awesome. And I loved it. And I since then just ever wanted to keep coming back to join Product Camp when I can. But since then, I've left Sales Loft to join an all-remote company called Ninja Cat. It's a very true startup. We're still very much bootstrapped, but we're working through some investing round right now, which is good news. Very excited, but also a very stressful time. But yeah, it's been a great ride. I'm a product manager there. I don't know if we're talking about being remote during this time or not, but I'll share a little bit about my experiences on that too. It's been kind of a little bit of both between like Steve's experience and I think Donna's experience too. Like I kind of go back and forth. Some days I'm very stressed and like tied to my computer and my screens because I'm in meetings all day. But then there are times where like I know I need to step back. I just need to put my boundaries up and say, hey, I need a break. I can't take on this right now. Like I'll get back to you later, and I step away and make myself go outside and take a walk around the house.
I think you set expectations pretty well with that board right behind you. Everybody in your meetings knows that at some point I'm going to draw a line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think especially working in product and the product management area, you're in meetings constantly and people are always constantly needing you. And I think it's okay to draw a line and be like, hey, that's cool. I'll get back to you.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, welcome. Glad you could join us this morning.
Thank you.
So John has joined us now. I'm going to switch gears here, and I want to take care of a little bit of housekeeping as we're getting started. For those of you who are just joining, I'm going to repeat a couple things that I talked about a few minutes ago as well. But this is the third in our series of product coffee events that we've been kind of doing with the Product Camp Atlanta organization to find some new ways that we can connect together and create some valuable content to help us all in our careers in the product camp tradition while we're not doing a physical event this year. Several of the other product camps, as I've said, are doing massive online events that have a global audience. I didn't feel like between what's going on with Product Con this week, as well as Product Camp Austin, which is coming up virtually. San Diego's done some things. Raleigh Research Triangle Park has done an online event as well. I didn't feel like it was necessarily important for us to create a whole big Product Camp event, but I did think it would be nice for us to have a nice way to get together and meet some new folks in the Product Camp tradition on a weekly basis and set up with a coffee, but have some educational, informative, or fun topics to discuss as part of a program as well. So in order to do that, we're creating a list of topics of things that we'd like to have as sessions. And I have created, I've put together a little feature board on a product called Feature Upvote that we're using for right now that allows everyone here to put together to make a suggestion for a topic that we might cover in the future. And I'll paste that in the chat here. Oh, hang on. Let me get that to everyone. There we go. Paste that to the chat here. And if you would, just take a few minutes to go out there today or as you think of ideas that would be good topics for us to have as a main program at a Product Coffee, make your suggestion, vote on the ones that are there. And the more we build a list, the more it'll help us build up a series of great content. And feel free, if you want to, include in your comments when you make a suggestion, hey, I'd like to lead this session. If you want to step up and lead one in the Product Camp tradition, please say, I'd like to lead this session. Or if it's just a suggestion that you'd like somebody to do, say that too. And I'll reach out to folks and get these things scheduled. The next thing that I wanted to kind of share is, I want to talk about sharing. You've heard the expression sharing is caring. I have put together a list or a starter of a list for us to share job opportunities. If your company is hiring and you know about an opening that you'd like to share with the Product Camp community, I've just pasted a link to a spreadsheet in here. You can drop your openings that you're aware of, or it may be another company that you know about. It may be a position that you looked at and knew about that you decided wasn't for you and you want to share it with others who might be interested. If you'll drop those ideas in the spreadsheet that I just pasted the link to, then what I'll do is each week as I send out the weekly update email, I'll highlight some of those or all of them, depending on how many we have, but I'll highlight those in the email. So we'll get those out to the whole Product Camp audience, which right now is about 2,400 active openers of our emails. So we've got a pretty good audience. But once again, this is a crowdsourced type of thing. So definitely need your feedback. I need your inputs in order to make that successful. And then the last thing I wanted to share before we kick off here is I put together a third document that is for kind of a crowdsourced note-taking document. It's just out on Google Docs. And once again, everybody who's here today will have access to this document. And the idea is if you hear something that you would take as a note, take it publicly. The notes aren't really attributed. You can, unless you're logged in, they're generally going to be anonymous, but drop in your ideas, your thoughts, your questions, expand on the topics. If you see somebody else take a note and you want to expand on that note to kind of fill out once again, a crowdsourced understanding of what we've talked about here today, feel free to add and expand. And we'll break off into some small groups here in a few minutes as well and talk about some additional ideas that I'll ask people to compile. We'll build a pretty good document of what we've thought about and talked about and learned about here today. just kind of an experiment to see how this goes with us. So everybody switch over and log into that document as well, so that as we get started here, you can capture some of the brilliance that we're going to be discussing together. All right, and that's it for the housekeeping stuff. So I want to welcome John Mansour of Proficientz. He's
morning, everybody.
Hey, John, welcome. John has been with supporting Product Camp for as long as I can remember. As a matter of fact, he's been a diamond sponsor originally through Zigzag Marketing, which was the previous name of his company, and became Proficientz. Gosh, it's been what, 7 years ago now, John, that you started?
2011, it went to Proficientz, so 9.
9 years, holy cow. But has been the leading supporter of Product Camp Atlanta from the very beginning. And so when I reached out to John and said, hey, would like you to come speak at one of these product coffees, he didn't hesitate and jumped right in and said, absolutely. And suggested a couple of topics, which you voted on. And this one kind of bubbled to the top to talk about marketing yourself as a high value solution. So with that, that's how we're going to kind of lead off today's coffee talk. And I swear I'm not going to use the Linda Richmond voice for that ever, except for when the camera goes off.
Come on, Jason. How about a little morning entertainment here?
Welcome, John. Thanks.
Thank you. Nice to be here. I'm looking at the list of participants here, many of you whom I know, so it's nice to see you again and be in your presence. Although we can't be together, at least I can see your faces, or at least your names or pictures or initials or whatever you have up there. So it's great to be here. Jason, anything else before I take it away here? Okay. So, I thought since this is a coffee meeting here, before we start talking about how to market yourself, I'm a self-proclaimed coffee junkie by, any definition you want to make that. So I'm always looking for like new and interesting coffee brews. So
Uh-oh, he muted himself.
John, you're on mute.
Hang on, John.
We can't hear you.
Unmute.
There you go. Sorry. I tried to mute everyone but you, and I got you too. Sorry about that.
All right. So anyway.
Back up and start over.
All right. Let me start over. So it's nice to be here. Nice to see everybody. And I thought before we get started talking about how to market yourself as a high-value solution, we'll stay in the coffee theme here. Jason, I love your backdrop there. This is like, watching ESPN radio on TV. You never cease to impress me with your technology and putting up a background and all that good stuff. So keeping in the theme. So anyway, I don't know how many coffee junkies we have here, but I am definitely a coffee junkie. So I'm always looking, I love finding these small boutique coffee places and buying beans from a local roaster or something like that. So what I would love to hear from any other coffee junkies out there is, like, what's your favorite bean or brew where you found it, whether it's in some small town, whether it's in Atlanta, whether you roast your own. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to unmute yourself and just chime in, because I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. So for those of you who I've known for many years, my wife and I moved here about 3 years ago. So there's this great little place, if you ever come to Greenville, called Coffee Underground. And it's right on the corner of Main and Coffee Street. So if you're a coffee lover, go in there and ask for a cup of Mocha Java. It's my favorite. So as the coffee snobs say, it has, what do they say, notes of dark chocolate. So if you like coffee and dark chocolate, it's a great bean. So if any of you have a great brew out there, I would love to know what it is. Okay, Steve, I see you raising your hand.
Yeah, John, I don't necessarily have the best bean, but what I do is we have a KitchenAid burr grinder, and I've had it for years. And I don't drink nearly as much as my wife does, but I like to make things for her and find out if she likes them. So I'll go out and pick out different coffees, somewhere between medium dark to completely dark, Sometimes I'll even mix in to lighten it up a little bit of decaf. And I find out which one she seems to like the best, and that's what I'll keep buying to grind until I ask her if she wants something new. And so I'm more of a mixer, not necessarily an aficionado on a specific bean, but I try to blend what I think will be a blend for her.
That's great. Yeah, I have one of those. I have a Breville coffee maker that has the bean hopper on top. So I put the whole beans in, then I grind and make a fresh cup of coffee whenever I want one. It's pretty awesome, and I do love dark roasts. All right. Who else has a favorite bean or brew?
Hey there, John. I'm Amy. Me and my husband are a big fan of Jittery Joe's, the local roaster in Athens. And we just discovered, or just by a couple months ago, one of their blends called Kishi Bashi. And it's named after a local artist, and it's very smooth and very good. I highly recommend it.
Oh, great. All right, looks like some people throwing some stuff into the chat there. I'm also a Jittery Joe's fan. Cool beans at Marietta Square. Okay, Manesh, enlighten us where at the Marietta Square, because when I'm in Atlanta, I frequent the Marietta Square often.
So where the end is, you just keep walking straight towards the railway tracks, and it's on the left-hand side.
Oh, and what's the name of the place?
Cool Beans.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called Cool Beans Coffee. And
Nice.
they've been there for forever and ever, reasonable price. And it's just, they have a wide variety of different beans. They typically don't do a blend. They have one or two blends, but most of them are specifically from certain places in the world. So
Nice. I love it. Oh, and here's another great one I just found. So if you have an Aldi supermarket or grocery store near you, there happens to be one near where my wife and I live. So I happened to see this. It said organic whole bean, single origin, something Honduras, store brand. I thought, well, for $5 a bag, I can't go wrong. It's awesome. So if you have an Aldi near you, I think it's their whatever their store brand organic is. It just says organic whole bean Honduras. It's fabulous. Okay. Any other coffee junkies?
I like the Black Rifle Company. It's online. They've got something called Beyond Black. It's a very dark roast.
Lovely. All right. Good coffee tips. Anybody else here?
Yeah, this is Joel Plofsky. I don't have a particular bean, but what I've been doing is self-grinding like the rest of you, but doing it a day in advance and then pouring it into a pitcher and keeping it in the fridge overnight. And then my wife and I both take our cups to go as iced coffee in the morning. This
nice.
Works great.
Nice.
Also, Death Wish coffee, it has a great bean. They're delicious. And if anybody wants a cold brew recipe, just take a whole 12 to 16 ounce bag of coffee beans and pour cold water over it in a non-reactive pot. Cover it, leave it overnight, and then strain it. And it is amazing because the grounds sit in the water for a long period of time. You get more layers of flavor. It's amazing. And then I just put it in glass jars and keep it in the fridge.
Nice. See, whenever someone uses the term layers of flavor, they're serious about their coffee. That's awesome. And what's it called? Death Wish?
Death Wish is a bean purveyor, but cold brew you can use with any brand of coffee. Just a 12 to 16 ounce bag. I fill my large pasta pot with cold water and just let it steep overnight and then strain.
Lovely. All right. Well, thank you all for that. Okay. Are we ready to talk about how to market ourselves as a solution? Jason says host has disabled attendee screen sharing. So would you like to let me do that? I just have a couple of slides to keep me on point here.
I haven't intentionally disabled it.
All right, let's try again.
Oh, I know why. Here we go. Try now.
All right. No, not yet.
Well, let's do this. So I'm going to make you the host for the moment.
Okay.
Make sure you transfer it back to me when you're done, though.
I would never hijack your meeting.
Hey, Jason, you can add a co-host as well.
Yeah, I'll need to figure that out for next time. After John bragged about my technology.
Here we go. All right, can everyone see my PowerPoint? All right, cool. Now I'm going to move my little console up to the top of the screen so I'm actually looking into my camera, which is right in the line of sight of all of your faces here. So it looks like I'm actually looking at you. In fact, I heard I don't remember if it was Google or Apple was thinking about putting, like the camera hole, like when you're talking, I want to look at your face, which is in the middle of the screen. Someone said they're thinking about putting the actual camera lens somewhere in the middle of the screen where it wouldn't be visible to you as you're working, but when you're looking into the middle of the screen, it actually seem like you're looking at your audience directly, which would be a good thing. Okay, so many of you have probably seen or heard other sessions about how to market yourself like a product. So I'm going to throw a different twist on this, which is how to market yourself as a high-value solution. And the whole point here is if you are going to make a career move or if you're looking for a job, you want to do something that's going to engage your hiring managers and bring their vision to life, as opposed to talking about the features and benefits of you as a product, okay? So we'll talk about that. And again, Jason, I don't know how you want to, if you want to do Q&A after, or if you want to make this more of a discussion during, your choice.
You have the control. You choose how you want to do. What we normally do is have some Q&A at your leisure, either during or at the end, and then we'll break off into small groups and kind of go off and see if we want to build on or add any ideas to share back with the larger group as a smaller networking activity as well.
All right, cool. So it's a pretty short, in terms of content, fairly short presentation. So because I can't see all 40-some participants in one view on my screen here, I'll probably wait till after, because I'm sure if someone raises their hand, it will be easy for me to miss. Okay, so real quickly about Proficientz, and I won't spend a lot of time here. So for those of you who don't know us, been around since 2001. We train product managers, product marketing managers, and then sales enablement types. And what we do is very different than what I would call traditional product management, product marketing training. And it's all about delivering value from the top of the customer organization down. And so the most important things to remember, especially for those of you in product management roles, is the way we teach it. The goal is to eliminate all of the silos and competing priorities across product teams, which is, seems like a way of life for anyone for as long as you've been in product management. And here's the thought behind it is what's best for every product is usually not the most valuable thing for the customer, right? So it's a much more holistic view of the customer that we get, okay, all product management, product marketing, sales, everybody, let's huddle up and let's take one common view of the customer. Let's understand what's driving their organization from the top down, right? Which is usually the market dynamics, right? So if you look at what COVID has done to every organization, right? The ones most visible to us are, think about restaurants or the hospitality industry, right? So strategically, if restaurants are going to survive, they're putting strategies in place. Many of them, it's like, okay, to compensate for our 50% dining capacity, they're trying to boost their, online ordering and takeout and delivery business to compensate for that, right? So that's a strategic initiative. So if you think about your customers, there are strategies at the top of the organization that then filter down into the departments where your product plays. So to understand, so if you want to deliver strategic value, you have to understand what the strategic goals and the outcomes are your customers are looking for, and then how those, what's the ask on the areas of the company where your products play. So if your products play in HR, what's HR being asked to do because of the strategy of the company? Or if it's IT, what's IT being asked to do? What's sales being asked to do? What's marketing being asked to do because of the strategy of the company? and what kind of outcomes are they looking for, and then how does that impact people's jobs in the trenches, right? And so that's the tactical aspect of it. So normally, as product managers and product marketers, we tend to, by hook or by crook, we end up getting driven down to the tactical level. And sometimes it's hard to see beyond what's valuable to our users. So whether we're going top down or bottom up, if I'm going to go bottom up, it's like I'm going to make these people better at their jobs to improve some departmental metric that's important to the company because it supports the strategy, which is being driven by the dynamics of the market, right? So we get everybody behind one view of the customer, and we understand what are the biggest outcomes or goals they're trying to accomplish, and then where are the obstacles. And that way, it's pretty obvious what's most important for each of us, that, the role our products play in helping customers get those outcomes. And if I compare that to traditional product management, we go out and we look for problems our product can solve, and then we have to validate the problem and make sure there's a market for it and do all that. Our approach cuts to the chase, because if there's something standing in the way of a strategic goal of a customer, if you remove that obstacle, it has strategic value. So by nature of connecting the problem to an outcome, the extent to which it's strategic or not is pretty obvious. So it requires a different type of thinking, a different way to uncover and define business requirements and how you drive, the strategy across your whole portfolio and then down to your individual product plans and roadmaps. But the good news is it makes it a lot easier for everybody, because you're not all fighting with each other, because we can all make the case for why our stuff is more important and you're all right. But how do you reconcile it? Okay, so that's about Proficientz. Now, when you're going to market yourself as a solution, let's talk about a headline. So I'll put this in context of if you were in an interview, right? Someone's going to say, well, Steve or John or Jason, why should I hire you? Diane, why should I hire you? Stephanie, why should I hire you? All right, so I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to think about that. If you walked into a job interview and the first thing the interviewer said to you or the hiring manager said to you is, why should I hire you? How would you answer that question? Think about that for just a second. Now, if most of you follow what would be a typical answer to that, your response would be because I have experience or I have a skill or I can do something, right? So I is a big part of that answer, right? You're answering it literally. Why should I hire you? And it's because I can do something for you, right? Here's the difference between marketing yourself as a product and a solution. So the difference between a product and a solution, I'll go back to our product management world. Products are what we build. Solutions are what customers do. So just think about, what is it my customers do and why do they do it and why is it important to the success of their business? Okay. So a solution is more about how do we make customers better at what they do because of what we're good at. So if you put that in context of marketing yourself, okay, and someone says, well, why should I hire you? Think about answering that with, because you, the employer, are going to get something that's really important to you because of the skills I have or the experience I have or something that I do very well. Okay? And so, some examples to that are, like, why should I hire you? So if your specialty is something like product usability, I would answer that question like, your renewal rates are going to be much higher and you won't have to discount, right? Because if users love your product that much and they live in your product, then the chances are they're going to renew, okay? And because your adoption rates are so high and usage is so high, that gives you more leverage to not have to discount, okay? And so then it's, if you are a VP or director, right? And someone says, why should I hire you? You want to go a little bit higher. And you might say something because you're going to get more valuable products to market faster that are going to drive growth. Okay. Now, that obviously begs the question, so why is, what are you going to do that's going to help me meet that goal? But first and foremost is think about what you're really good at. Okay, so every one of us has a specialty. We have a comfort zone. There's stuff we do well. There's stuff we love to do, which is probably the stuff we do well. There are things we know we're not that great at, okay? But think about what your specialty is, because if you're going to market yourself as a high-value solution, the worst thing you can do is put a resume out there, which is your brochure. Just put a resume out there that tries to be everything to everyone. And so the point of marketing yourself as a solution is, I have a specific skill and strength that delivers a very specific benefit or outcome to a potential employer. Let's focus on that, and let's find employers who really need what it is I'm good at, okay? So no different than marketing a solution in the traditional product management world is, let's find customers who are trying to accomplish something that we can help them do better than any of our competitors. And let's find low-hanging fruit and let's go after it. So just give that some thought. So what is it you're really good at? What is it you love to do? What do you have a passion for? And then what's the benefit of that strength to an employer? And phrase it as if it's something really important to them. Okay, so then you got to have anchors to this value story. So someone says, okay, Jason, great. So higher renewal rates, less discounts. What is it you bring to the table? Okay, so now they're asking specifically, what is it you do now? You have to be patient, so don't go to the I yet. This is where you're going to engage a hiring manager. You're going to say, well, first of all, here's why your renewal rates aren't what they are, and here's why you're having to discount, right? Users don't love living in your product because they have to work harder for the product than it works for them, as an example. Or you're creating features with benefits instead of creating, use cases, closed loop use cases that produce an outcome that customers want, right? Or if someone says, well, okay, you're going to help me get more valuable products to market faster, what are you going to bring to the table to help us do that? My first response would be, let me tell you why it's not happening. Here are all the things preventing you from delivering higher value products and getting them to market faster. Then, once we get through that, then it's okay. Here's how I can help you. Okay? So if your specialty is usability, it's here's why your products are not as usable as they need to be and why you're having renewal rate issues. Here's what I'm going to bring to the table that's going to get you over those hurdles or eliminate those obstacles. Right? Same if you're going for a VP director level job. It's here's what's stopping you from getting high value products to market faster to drive growth, right? This isn't happening, this isn't right. And because think of it this way, you're telling people something they already know, which is a good thing in this case because that's where you're forming some sort of an emotional connection with them. Because if I want to hire you for a VP or director job, I know we have issues getting products to market and the value's never what it turns out to be, and I want someone to fix that for me. So if you understand why the problems exist, that tells me clearly he or she knows how to fix it. And so it's, when you're selling yourself as a solution, it's context. Context is really the key. And context is just about having a conversation with people, or even if you put it on a resume, it's letting them know you understand the world they're living in, because it's like, wow, if he or she understands this, they're probably pretty darn good at it. They're probably good at fixing it, and I should consider at least, bringing this person in for an interview. And so when you are the solution, it's here's what I'm going to help you accomplish, here's why it's critical to your success, here are the things stopping you, and then you get to, here's what I bring to the table. All right. And I know that's hard because the first thing someone says to you is, John, tell me about yourself, or Diane, tell me why you're applying for this job. All right. Some interviewers are good, some are not prepared. They throw questions out there. Sometimes you have to set the rules of the game, right? And I've had a lot of interviewers do that with me back when I was out, before I started Proficientz, and I'd go to different job interviews and where it was appropriate without coming across as obnoxious or controlling, I would usually start the interview with the question myself. I'd say, hey, Jason, tell me what's going on at Acme Company and what is being asked of product management. What are you looking for product management to do? How does my role fit into the big picture? Right? Don't be afraid to ask the first question, because then you set yourself up to talk about, well, here's why that doesn't happen. Here are all the issues that happen. Here's the skill I'm good at. Here's how I'm going to help you, right? it plays right into your hands. So with that, let's take a couple of questions, and for those of you who have had experience, or for those of you who have actually done this and it's worked well for you, please share it with others.
So John, this is Jessica. Quick question. How might you know, without having an insider's view of the company, what is stopping the company from succeeding, from overcoming their biggest obstacles?
In some cases, you might not know. Now, there are some indicators, right? So I do this till this day because when someone is interested in training, or I want to contact someone, I look at what's going on in the company, press releases, things like that, to sort of figure things out. And there are some common denominators. So if a company has recently gone through an acquisition, there's a nightmare bringing the cultures together and the product teams together and getting everybody on one page, right? That's a gimme. If a company has just released a new product, darn well it's not as good as the press release makes it look, right? And so issues getting products to market, it's like, hey, I see you just released a new product, blah, blah, blah. And then, you can talk about trials and tribulations of, things that go into a launch. But for those of you who've been in the profession for a while, for those of you who've been through, at least 2 or 3 jobs, where the common denominators are, and those are usually a pretty safe bet to throw out there in the starting part of a conversation, because if a hiring manager disagrees with those or says, no, those aren't an issue, that's still good, because then he or she's going to tell you what is the issue, and then the conversation will go from there.
Great, thank you.
John, this is Steve. I noticed when you were talking through reestablishing how you would present yourself to the person asking the question, I find it a problem of always saying I can, or I will, or I understand. I know we're not supposed to do it, but frankly, I've been working in this area for 37 years, right? And I'm a consultant, much like yourself, who sometimes steps in at the start stage, or sometimes halfway through, or solving some big problem. And in fact, I sometimes have to use I too much. And I think what you were presenting is a way to stay away from I, and ways to present, ways of talking about solving the problem without using.
And you don't want to stay away from I. It's just I is the last part of the conversation instead of the first. And this is really hard, Steve. You nailed it. Because even today, like when I was in a sales role, people say, well, why should I buy from you versus your competitor? The first thing you want to do is because we do this, instead of saying, the reason you want to buy from us versus our competitors is because you will get these outcomes better with us than you will somebody else, and here's why. It's because of what we do, right?
Right.
It's just it's something you got to practice, because you're right. The default is it's because I'm good at this, or I have experience, I've done this or done that. You really have to put some conscious effort to do that.
And I've heard it coming out of my mouth thinking, clamp down, got to stop that. But like yourself, I'm one of those weird guys who's gone from writing code all the way to being a senior VP of sales, with product being my core. And when I'm on that sales side, you get that rhythm. You learn what to say and what not to say. You feel it more. On the product side, you're somewhat distanced from a selling activity. And so you have to train yourself to think like a salesperson.
Well, and for those of you who are immersed in product stuff all day long, one suggestion I can make to you is take 30 minutes at some part of your day, whether it's morning coffee or evening before you go to bed. Google is your best friend. Just go read what's keeping VPs of sales or CEOs in this industry awake, and look for people in your profession or in your industry that you target. And just find out, like I always Google, like if I have a new prospect, I always Google top strategic priorities for restaurants, or if someone targets restaurants or healthcare or banking, just so that when I have a conversation with a prospect, in my case, I can speak intelligently about what's going on in their industry instead of just yammering on about myself.
John, this is Ginger Sunberg. I was just wondering, sometimes when you're applying and you're applying initially online and you don't have any contact within the company, a lot of times they ask you sometimes a similar question up front. What will you bring? What makes you different? Do you recommend trying to apply this tactic to those kind of pre-written without any conversation? Or how would you approach those?
Yeah, and if you're forced to answer that question when you submit your resume or your CV, then I would say, answer it. In fact, if I were to put a resume together these days, at the top of my resume, instead of doing something like experienced product management executive, 20 years, blah, blah, I would start with, here's what I'm going to help you accomplish, and here's why it's not happening. And then I would say, I have the experience to help you fix this. And then I would list my accomplishments from each job tied back to my headline, which is why that piece is so important. So I would say if you have to submit a resume online, I would do the same thing in written form, which is, here's why you want to hire me, because I'm going to help you accomplish this goal. Here's why it's not happening. And, almost make it like a cover letter. Because that's what's going to stand out. Keep in mind, when people apply for a job, the first thing they're going to do is talk about what they're good at as opposed to what they're going to help the hiring company be good at. And so by nature of taking a different approach, having a big headline, I think it helps you stick out.
John?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a question for you. Okay. Actually, my background is more of that as a Scrum Master, although I'm a certified product owner as well. I found in some cases when I've even tried to pull out from them what their biggest challenges are, I've found some of them a little bit maybe reluctant to even kind of explain it. Can I give you kind of a general answer in terms of what it is? And it wasn't until I actually got in there when I ended up getting the job, I found out they were almost completely off or completely wrong in terms of what their real challenges were. So that becomes like sticky, and even more so. And again, maybe this is just my kind of like my personal experience, because I've at least in the Atlanta market, a lot of the roles, and I've had this conversation with Alex yesterday, a lot of times you're there on a short-term basis, and really the solutions for them really is a longer term. Mm-hmm. So it's harder, at least from my perspective, to really provide that value for them when they sometimes see you as almost like a short-term resource, rather than seeing like you as hey, you need to have me and others like me engage with you for over a long period of time to really see the value of what it is I bring, rather than saying, okay, well, he's just a Scrum Master. He's kind of help working with the team for a short period of time. He's coached them for a little bit. Okay, thank you very much. And we can take it from there. And I had a conversation with my former product owner and asked her how are things going since I've been gone. And it's not even been not a little bit over 2 months. I said, it's kind of all over the place right now.
And so I'm glad you raised that issue, because whether you're talking to a customer in your product role or whether you're talking to a potential employer, here's a better question to ask than what are your biggest challenges or problems. Leave that question aside. Start with this question. Tell me what it is that you're trying to accomplish, right? What are the top 2 or 3 things you want to accomplish? And why is it important if it's not obvious? And then what's stopping you, right? Because again, it's back to full context, because Rowan, as you just explained, if you go right in and say, hey, Rowan, tell me about your biggest challenges, that the answers to those questions, right, can lead you astray. Because when people tell you, it's like, okay, I have a million problems, challenges, where do I start? If you start the conversation with, tell me what the end game is, right? I always like to start with the end in mind. Tell me what the end game is, why it's important to you, and what's stopping you, and then let people talk. You get an answer or a response that is much more conducive to you positioning your value of what you do, or if you're actually selling a product, the value of whatever your product is. And I always try to encourage people is just stop looking for problems, ask people what they want to do and why it's important and why they can't get there, and then the problems will hit you right between the eyes. Or at least the important ones will. Good questions, good discussion. Who else?
So I've got a suggestion. We've got about 20 minutes left, and there were a couple things that came up in your in kind of a Q&A around here. That were kind of around shifting the conversation to to get control of the conversation so that you can actually start solutioning. And it started sounding like a lot, customer discovery is what it is, right? It's getting into a discovery conversation, which in and of itself, when you're talking to the right person, can lead to a pretty powerful interview, especially if you've done your homework in advance. But I was wondering if maybe a good topic to talk about as we break off into some smaller groups is to maybe brainstorm some ways that you can actually shift the conversation and take control of that conversation and shift to allow for this, and see what we come up with as ideas, as some leading approaches to kind of take control of this conversation, and then maybe circle back in a few minutes and get some feedback from everyone. So I'm going to click the button that says Reclaim Host, and it worked.
So one quick plug, if you can still see my screen here, and then my slides are done, is if you want to learn this whole top-down solution approach, outcome-based product management, product marketing, you can get it online at very reasonable cost. We do it all by subscription. There are 13 lessons. You get access to all of them as many times as you want during your subscription period. And it also includes a portfolio product management certification as part of the plan. So you get to certify some unique skills you won't find anywhere else. So we would love to have you on board with that. People have loved these courses so far, so feel free to join the fray. All right, Jason, I'm going to stop sharing. It's all yours.
All right, that's great. Thank you so much, John. So I'm going to split us up into breakout rooms, and take a quick second once you get to your breakout room to introduce yourself to the folks that you're collaborating with there, but then talk a little bit about questions that you can ask, and use the notes document that I put in the chat earlier, and I'm going to paste it back in one more time. And just create a section for your team there, and come up with 2 or 3 approaches or questions or statements that you can make that can help you shift the conversation so that you can be talking about the solution that you are, the high value solution that you are, versus responding and being on kind of the back foot. See some ideas that you can use to take control of the conversation and turn it into a customer interview. And then we'll bring everybody back together in a few minutes. In about 10 minutes, we'll come back together and have one person from each of your teams kind of share one of your top ideas with us. So I'm going to break you up into breakout rooms. It takes a couple of seconds for everything to work through, but just go ahead and get started as soon as you get dropped into a room. I'm going to do it in 6 rooms, which should put, I'm going to make it 7 rooms, which will put about 4 to 5 people in a room. So here we go. Have fun.
Wow, Jason, you brought us back right when one of the folks in our session was really getting into it.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we were summarizing how we were gonna share the takeaway, and barely got that out of my mouth.
Oh, that's okay. We'll be agile and forgiving as well.
Good.
Looks like do we have? Yeah, looks like we've got about everybody back in here. So yeah, so I'm gonna thank everyone for coming. I would like to, and I know some people are going to have to drop. We're getting close to the top of the hour, but if anybody wants to stick around a little bit longer, you can. I would like to ask folks to share, as you kind of broke out into your groups, kind of what some of your key takeaways were. And I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of go down the list here. We had breakout room 1 that had Amy, Biffo, Jay, John, and Mark in it. Does somebody want to tell us what you came up with?
We talked about some of the notes I took was just how to approach oddball questions from interviewers was one of the topics that we had covered, right? And it was just a good roundtable discussion on that, some good advice. We shared experiences from that, as well as provided advice about how we handle those situations and maybe what to do differently in future type situations.
Great, thank you. Then room 2 had Donna and Manesh and someone else who apparently had to leave.
We talked a lot about how it's still challenging that on a resume, they're still looking for keywords, right? Because you still have to get through the automated searches. So that's still going to be a keyword search. And then really, how do we know that the person we're talking to is the right person to have a conversation about challenges? Because you end up going through so many interviews at different levels between, even if we can find what challenges the companies, which is a challenge in itself, but then you end up with, if you get in past the keyword search resume to get an interview, then how do you know that that person you're talking to is going to resonate with a solution type conversation versus all they want to know is what culture are you looking for, what have you done kind of thing, because they aren't really the ones, they're just doing the screening, the initial screening, and you've got to get to that right person who really wants to know how you're going to help the company.
Right.
So more that type of challenge on, because nowadays you're going through 10 different interviews before you get to the real right person who's going to make the decision.
That's true. How about room 3, Ginger, Jessica, and Lisa?
We discussed something that I'm totally stealing from informational interviews that I had last week, which is being able to concisely share the following 5 points. I am, I do, I solve, you want me because, and I am different from you, which infers how I will bring value to your organization. And having that elevator pitch, having it written down, you can use it as an answer to tell me about yourself. You can use it in your cover letters. Feel free to recycle it as appropriate. But I think having that pitch about yourself can be very helpful. And to circle back to John's earlier point of how do you figure out where the pain points of the company are? Again, his advice on reading press releases, looking to see if they've done any acquisitions or recent product releases, and then inferring from that, then you can infer from that what value you bring.
Great. Thanks, Jessica. Let's take a look at room number 4. We had Joel, Rohan, and Steve.
Well, we spoke a bit about how to present ourselves, what to go after in these times that are a little bit difficult. I think we had one of the folks in the group talked about the fact that they have particular domains they're very interested in and others that they're not. How to expand from being a product owner and a scrum master to broadening to full product management. Mm-hmm. And then as well too, I spoke a bit about my desire to time slice between various things outside product management. So whether that be a little bit more technical towards engineering or even helping out on the business development and sales side, but my desire to stay focused, always going back to building and defining and managing product. So I think we found there were different ideas based on our past experiences, but still, I see in general widening the approach so that we can find more opportunities and in fact maybe making us better product managers by knowing more about the whole business.
Great. Thank you, Steve. See, we had room 5 with Doug, Mrunal, and Stephanie. Good. You might want to share your thoughts with us.
All right. Oh, this is Stephanie. We just sort of talked more about our interviews and not getting responses back, being ghosted. Haven't interviewed in a long time, so now that I have to, I'm hearing that word and how to we didn't really get into like how, more of the presentation of yourself or anything. So it's good to hear other people's rooms and what they discuss too. But just a little bit of that.
Yep.
Oh, and how good his class is.
Oh yeah.
So maybe you need to look into that.
Absolutely, and that yeah, I'm going to give a plug that even in this at this time, that pricing on John, even for a month of access to his courses, is a fantastic professional training and certification price. So thank you, John, for offering that out. Yeah,
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Let's switch over real quick to breakout room 6. They had Diane, Elizabeth, Shalane, and Sudha.
Yeah, so we were talking about questions that would get the interviewer talking, right? So that you can suss out information from them. Asking them things like what they see most challenging or what they think their customers are saying. And if you've done your research, you can see how that lines up or not. And seeing how they perform customer research, right? And that may give you an opening of, well, hey, I do that really well. Or this is what I would do to solve that.
Right. Very cool. Thanks, Diane. And the last room was room 7 with Joelle and John, who are the ones who are left.
Yep. So I'll say, we spent a few minutes getting acquainted, kind of probably too much of that, not into the topics, but we, one of the things that became apparent is one of us was in consulting. I have just gotten pretty far into negotiations on a new opportunity. And in both those cases, even though, in my example, I talked to dozens of companies in the last 5 months, the one where it stuck is the one I was best able to match the need of the company with my background and skill set. So even if it wasn't purposeful that I did it that way, and that opportunity wasn't open until fairly recently, it ends up demonstrating that building that match and conveying that match is really what makes the difference.
Yep. Great. Thanks, John. We've had quite a few people who had to drop already, but I will send out a edited recording of this session for everyone to review. And I want to thank everyone who was able to join today. It was a really great session. Thanks again to John. It's kind of hard to actually give applause on a Zoom call, but still, I want to really thank John Mansour for coming and sharing this topic today and leading off a stimulating discussion. Thanks, John.
My pleasure. Nice to see everybody. Great session, folks.
Yep.
Thank you, John. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Well, and we will continue. I'll look through the topics list. Make sure you drop in your suggestions for future topics. Make sure you go vote. John's currently in the lead for the next topic as well. However, he's got a close contender. We may let John take a week off. But John, I think, would you like to come back and do another session with us sometime soon?
I'd love to. I miss the tag meetings and the product camp stuff, and so this is Jason. Thank you for running this and knowing how to orchestrate these Zoom meetings so well. It really is the next best thing to being there. So I appreciate it. Now I'd love to participate some more.
Excellent. So we will look at the topics that emerge and pick a topic for next week here pretty quickly. And get a follow-up email out, and go ahead and mark this time in your calendar. I think this format of meeting up at 7:30 for kind of some initial networking and starting a program at 8 felt pretty good to me. I'd like your feedback. Shoot me an email at jason@pcampatl.com. Let me know your thoughts and any other suggestions or feedback that you might have. I'll set up an anonymous suggestion box at some point, but I won't call anybody out that doesn't want to be called out. If you tell me I'm lousy or anything like that, it'll be fine. Thanks, everybody, for joining. And, hey, have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome to the Product Coffee Show. The Product Coffee is a weekly virtual coffee meetup where product managers and product marketing professionals from around the world get together and exchange tips and ideas and suggestions for how we can raise our professional game together. We usually have someone come kick off the discussion with a short presentation or conversation starter, And then we break off into smaller groups where we can get to know each other a little bit better and talk a little bit more deeply on the subject at hand. Then for the show, we take the best bits from those meetings and combine them into a 15 to 20 minute episode that you can watch while you're having your morning cup of coffee, or if you're just taking a coffee break sometime throughout the day. So if you like that idea, be sure and subscribe below and hit the like button and the bell to make sure you get notifications every time we publish a new episode. And if you'd like to join us for the networking and the coffee meetup, you can do that by going over to productcoffee.com/newsletter and subscribing to our mailing list. Now that's the only way you'll get an invitation each week to join us in person, or virtually in person. And you'll also get some other great content as well. And speaking of content, we're always looking for really good ideas for the types of things that you'd like to see us talk about at Product Coffee Meetups and on the show. So go over to productcoffee.com/ideas and submit your suggestions. We've got a request board there that lets you make suggestions and vote on suggestions that other people have made so that the best ideas rise to the top and we make sure that we prioritize them. Where have we seen that before? Okay, so that's enough of the setup. Let's get to this week's show.